Hello everyone, my name is Angelica and welcome to my channel. Today we are diving into the wonderful world of air dry clay. If you are looking for budget-friendly and unique home decor, you are in the right place. Stick around as I share 3 fantastic ideas that will transform your living space. Let's get our hands dirty. Take a quite big piece of clay and roll it out flat to the same thickness. I will use this wood piece as my template. My clay needs to be as wide as the half circle. First part I create is the bottom of the napkin holder. It's basically a rectangle shape. There is a great way of creating even thickness of the clay. Place it between 2 identical dowels and roll it. I don't always use this method as it's hard to find the exact thickness of the dowels. Now the clay piece has to be big enough for my half circle. I had this piece of wood lying around, that's why I use it, but you can use anything. Draw the circle shape from your bowl and then cut it in half. This part of your clay you want to be quite thick as it needs to be able to stand up straight. To give it more eye-catching detail, I give the curved edge a wavy finish. With the damp sponge, I smooth out all the edges. To attach all parts together, I create small cuts along the edges. It makes a rougher surface which will stick to each other much better. Then I apply clay slip on these cuts. You can either put the sides part on top of the bottom part, or like me, I put it all the way down and glue to the side of the base. To make it stronger, I roll thin and long piece of clay and attach it between the connection. Blend it all in and smooth out. Put some object behind to hold the clay straight up. Ideally something long with straight wall. Leave it till fully dry. After about 2 days, clay is now fully dry. I take sanding pad and get rid of any imperfections. Now you can customize it whichever way you want. At first I cover the whole surface in white acrylic paint. Then I draw my abstract pattern and paint it in black. To create my new coasters, I take a big piece of clay and roll it out flat to the same thickness. You want them to be quite thick, about 8 to 9 millimeters. Using a round cookie cutter, I cut out 2 identical circles. To create the citrus pattern on the clay, I drew it first on the piece of paper. It's the same size as my clay piece. I place it on top of the clay and with pointy tool I trace the lines. This way the design will be transferred onto the clay. Later on I had to make a few changes as I completely forgot about the edge. Using clay engraving tool, I start removing the parts of the clay I don't need. It's quite tricky and time consuming step, but the result is much better than when it would be just painted. At first it doesn't look great, but it will once it's all smooth out. Clay is quite soft, so you have to make sure your tools are sharp enough, otherwise you will be dragging the clay instead of cutting it out. Once this is done, you can take paintbrush, dip it in water and smooth out all the imperfections on the clay. Once your coasters are dry, take sanding pad and make the whole surface smoother. I'm going with yellow acrylic paint and paint only the sticking out parts. As they are coasters which will be used a lot, protect it with layer of varnish. It would also give them this nice shiny finish. To create this eye-catching vase, I will use this type of milk carton. Of course, it doesn't need to be after milk. I was just looking for this specific type of the top part. As you can see, I made my carton slightly shorter. You can of course keep its full height. I cut off the bottom and then push it inside the top part. For this project, you can use a really thin piece of clay. You just want to cover the carton with it. Wrap the clay around the carton. Try to keep the connection of the two ends at the back or on the side of the carton. You can still make it quite seamless, but I don't think it's a good idea to make it at the front. Now you have to wrap the clay around the whole surface of the carton. At first it might not look great, but it gets better over the time. There will be just a lot of smoothing out involved. I forgot to remove the cap before applying the clay, so now I have to fix this part. To create the sign at the front of the carton, I will use these ready wooden letters which I bought in craft store. At first I placed them mirrored on the clay, but that wasn't a good idea as the shapes weren't visible on the other side. So what I would do is place the letters down with the right direction and then put thin piece of clay on top of them. Take damp sponge and try to push in the clay around the lettuce. Then you can remove the wooden lettuce and place the milk sign gently on top of the carton. Once it's all dry, take sanding block and smooth out the whole surface. For this project, I'm only going to use white acrylic paint and Mod Podge as a varnish. It's a great vase for 4 flowers. I believe you can also pour the water inside and use a real flower. Maybe just don't do it when you shorten the carton before, like me. So there you have it, 3 fantastic ways to use air dry clay for unique home decor. Which idea do you like the most? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and I will see you in my next video.